Well, well, well. Good morning, good evening, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to this channel where in 2025 we have been looking at working out, fitness, body shaping, and all matters in between. And so I was just thinking this morning, a few years ago, I talked about a series of videos where I mentioned about the imperfect noise. And on one of those videos, I talked about the issue of noise coming from both within and without, and how it has the capacity to impact and affect either positively or negatively on the things that we do, and all that depending on how much receptiveness you yourself has put in place. And so today we are looking at life from a different perspective as a project which we need to manage. And remember, when we talk about the project management life cycle, what is this? Basically, these are steps that you look at to execute successfully any kind of project that has to continue growing into its complete success. And so, when you look at life as a project, then what are some of the things that we each do on a project? Every project has an initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and evaluation or controls, and ultimately closure, which means you close upon success, or under extraordinary circumstances, you might close the project due to certain external forces or changes that abruptly come. This could be war, it could be pandemics, or it might be change in administration, just like we are witnessing right now with the US and the USAID and all that stuff that comes with it. And so, just like I said, many of us find ourselves already when the project called life has started, because nobody applies to be born, nobody sits back and does a research and opts to be born. You are born and something initiated on your behalf. So by the time you begin managing your own life as a project, you are already aware, you are fully grown, depending on where you're raised up. Some start to manage their own projects at 9 years, 10 years, others 3 years, others 15 years, others are taken all the way to university and even given a job and some pocket change to start off something. Everything depends on how you were born, where you were born, when you were born, and by who. So you start managing your own project. And as we are talking about fitness, wellness, health, and what have you, you realize that this too is an entire project, because you ask yourself a question: why am I doing this? Do I need to stay in shape? Do I need to build muscle? Am I suffering from some kind of a lifestyle disease that I need to now reverse? Or is it just as a matter of a sporting interest that now you're getting into to become an athletic, so you need to get your body in shape? All this could be reasons why you choose to work out. My choosing reason for choosing to work out is precisely to lose weight and get my body in shape. Because many of you will realize that indeed I am an avid hiker. 3 time Kilimanjaro summiter, 1 time Mount Kenya, and about 6 to 7 times I've done Mount Longonot, and looking forward to do many, many more. And so, when we are talking about everything you do in life as an aspect or a component of a project management cycle, then there are basic things that you've got to look at in that process that we have mentioned and talked about. Because life throws different curveballs to people at very different levels. And the way this continues to happen, you have to start dealing with various things at various moments, depending on where you are. There are people who are born in very stable economies, very healthy countries in terms of leadership, governance, politics, religion, and all those aspects of life that come. There are people who are born into war. There are people who are born with drought. There are people whose countries are naturally prone to pandemic. The natural calamities. Could be floodings, could be fires. So many things happen in life. So when you sit back and look at your life as a project, and during the initiating process, you consider all the background effects of what I've talked about. Where have I been born? In what family have I been born? What resources were at my disposal and what was not? How is the education system? How is my political system? And so all these things that you look at helps you to determine where your future wants to go, what you want to achieve even in the near future. Some people don't even have the luxury of going to school. Some people have the Ivy League schools just at their doorstep. Those are different circumstances. There are some people whose parents are able to take them to middle school. Some do homeschooling, some do not. And so when you're managing your life as a project, you need to consider the current factors that all are around you. And so this helps you to know how much of a milestone you're going to be calculating and looking at every given step. Because remember, the curveballs I've talked about that are thrown at you, the pitfalls that you've got to deal with, the opportunities and challenges, pain points, and what have you, everybody goes through them differently. Even just within the country, there's still a whole lot of diverse opportunities that everybody finds themselves into. We have the haves and the have nots. You know, we have people who are able differently. We have people who are healthy in all manner of ways. People who go to different schools, even just within the same country. And so everybody needs to pick up their lives as a project and manage it in amazing ways so that it continues to grow, knowing that what is my end goal. Because when you're talking about a project, remember one key aspect or phase we talked about was closure. And closure here means, at what point do you know you have succeeded? How do you measure and evaluate, put in controls to know that at this point I have achieved what I need to achieve? And so, like I said, every single day you wake up, you need to know, am I involved in a long term project, mid term project, short term project, or an immediate project? You can have a project for a day. Hey, today I want to achieve this by the time I'm coming back home. Every project needs its project management cycle. Some might take quarterly, every 3 months of the year. Some might take 5 years. Some might take 25 years. Long term might take 50 years. Your entire life is a project. But how do you bring it down to phases and parts that you can confidently manage? So here we are for me, jumping onto exercising because I want to stay fit. I know that hiking, climbing mountains, this is the sport that I love, and I want to do it as a business over time. I don't want age, disease, or any sort of disability that I can be in control of to be a factor that destroys my vision, my purpose, and the direction that I want to go. Any external factors that I have no control over, we leave that to God. But what I can control, I need to be in charge. And so that is what we are talking about today when we look about life as a project management. So, listening to the next part, for you, how has your life been? How much of a project are you managing it like? Have you succeeded? Have you failed? Are you just living? Did you pick anything that was thrown at you and you ran with it? Do you know where you are running? Do you know your race? Or you're just doing what must be done because in life it's a battle for survival? Some people get there, and for them, all they need to do is get a roof over their heads and food into their stomach. That is the project that they run with. Some overcome this battle obstacle and move to become great business people, successful entrepreneurs, great career professionals, and they still move on. But the basic factor is whatever circumstances that you deal with, How are you managing your project? So constantly look at your life as a project, break down your year, break down your months, break down your weeks, break down your days, and constantly monitor what you are achieving. Because as the adage goes,
So even as
if
the
you cannot
project takes
measure
off,
it, many
you
things
cannot
come up. And
manage it.
remember, I
You
talked
cannot
about
just
challenges.
live.
Challenges
You
could be
cannot
legal,
just
they could be
survive. You
environmental, they
cannot
could be political, they
exist.
could be
Let your
ecological,
life be meaningful.
health, there could be a
Let your
lot of
life
things
have
that
a
happens.
purpose
And
and
some of
make
these
it
things
have a
we have to
direction.
find ways of dealing with them, mitigating them, and converting them into opportunities that actually lead towards success, because that is what creating solutions is all about. So sometimes in life you'd find that you have unclear objectives. You cannot run a project with unclear objective. What exactly do you want to achieve after the project is closed? That has to be very clear. If that is not clear, it will bring you issues with timelines, with setting up teams, with management, and even with budgets. And that is how your projects go down the drain after draining you. Lack of accountability. Many times things happen and we tell ourselves, whether this happens or not, life has to go on. Nope. When you're doing something, you have to give yourself clear objectives and have accountability. You start accountability by yourself, then have somebody else who can also hold you accountable. Because even if somebody pushes you for something you do not want to do, you will struggle to do it. But remember, you gave yourself a goal or an objective because it was yours. The other person or the party is just coming to be able to make sure you achieve and live up to what you said you would do. But many times you feel like, today I'm not going to do it. Today I cannot handle this project. Today I'm feeling weak. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling lazy. And you break your own rules, you break your own goals, and you do not do it. So, lack of accountability is always another challenge. Sometimes there are people who are involved. We call them stakeholders. No matter how small the project is, there are always stakeholders involved. This could be family, it could be a spouse, it could be a business partner, it could be neighbors, it could be fellowship people, it could be investors, whatever it is. There are always stakeholders that are involved. Involve people in your project, let them walk the journey with you. Create a family, create a community, create a support group, and that will always take you there. You need to understand the risks involved, even health wise. You might be wanting to achieve a certain goal and you end up messing your health even more because you're not doing the right thing. It is very easy to crash when you're going overboard just because you think you can reduce weight within a week, within a month, within a certain period, yet you've gained it over 20, 30, 40 years. So the risks involved, you can fall, you can break an arm and a leg. All these things are very, very doable. Skills. Sometimes it's important to go out of your way and research just to be able to know, how do I eat? What do I eat? When do I eat? So that you build different skill sets that helps you to also manage your objectives and goals in very, very practical activities that gets you to achieve what you need to achieve. Listen to your own body. Like for me, who is focusing on a body shaping and fitness wellness strategy, you listen to your own body. Sometimes you know you are not in a shape able to do what you need to do. Stopping is not losing. Taking a break to understand clearly some of the things you're doing does not mean you will not achieve your objective. You can tone down, you can slow down, but keep on going. Because remember, your body has to adjust to different opportunities and different environments that you are exposing it to, you know. So give yourself measurable scopes so that you do something that you yourself feel indeed you're going to grow into. You can always adjust as you move along. Then have a budget, same stuff. Sometimes when you do not have the right budget, and right budget here does not have to mean anything extravagant. We can all be very thrifty and frugal in all that we do. Like for me, this is day 48 of my mission. I have never stepped into a gym. Why? Because I didn't have the budget for it. So I create my own gym, I create my own discipline, and I do what I must do. Maybe after the next 1 month, when I get into a certain timeline, I will be able to now go into a gym because I've planned for it, I've allocated resources for it, and now I need to go to that professional trainer. So start the way you are, create a budget that goes with your project, and it goes well. So when you have all these solutions, just ensure that you are disciplined, committed, and dedicated enough, because consistency is what builds those habits. And I've said this in a previous video. When you build those habits, it becomes a mental picture captured in a way that you have to do it. If you don't do it, you feel like there's something that is missing. You are naked in one way or the other. Same with your body. If you're working out, your body begins to adjust. Your skeletal fracture, your muscles, they all begin to adjust. And so if you stop again and start again, you're disrupting the entire process. And that is not even healthy for you in any way. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening this far. I appreciate that you've stuck with this channel and you're able to follow. Keep on telling me your stories, keep on sharing what you're doing to keep yourself healthy, to keep yourself sane, to open your mind, detoxification, and all that you're doing for your wellness, your fitness, and to keep your body in shape. That is what I appreciate. Thank you for watching the other videos and constantly coming back. Please share this video out there and let's talk about your personal experiences every single day and what you're doing. Even if you are stuck, also let me know. Why are you stuck? Did you start and stop? Have you been procrastinating? Are there things that you cannot do? Do you already feel like you've quit or you've given up or you've lost hope on yourself? Trust me, those are the conversations that we're having here. Manage that project very well. You can always start. And within this community, there's a lot that we can do. So I'm looking forward to working with us, looking forward to hear your story, to share all these experiences. Start with what you have, put that project in scope, go out, plan it, execute it, monitor it, and close it. By the time you're closing it, it means you have achieved that objective. Launch a new project, keep on going, close it. Launch another one, keep on going, close it. That is the only way to build success, not just for health and wellness, but in every aspect of our lives. So I wish us well. Thank you for listening. Let's keep on going. All the best. Adios.